So I don't have a problem keeping a deeper tone when I'm in my lower chest voice, E below middle C through G above middle C. But once I get above a G, okay, so this was a female asking this question, so you know. So once I get above a G, an A or a B, somewhere in there, my voice becomes nasally and tinny or tiny, not sure which you were going for, but they both have the same effect up in that higher range. And I lose that buh sound that was present in my lower range. How do you keep that low, full tone even as you add pharyngeal resonance as you go higher? And somebody also asked a similar question. How do you keep the buh sound in your mixed voice? Which in my videos, I always refer to that deep chest mix sound as buh. So if you're new to worship vocalist stuff, you will come across that for sure. Okay, so how to keep the depth that we can get in our low range, how to keep that as we go into our high range. First of all, I will say that we have to proceed with caution when we're trying to bring fullness into our high range. Above that for girls, above that A transition spot, for guys above the D above middle C. It can be done, and I think it should be done. We want that fullness in our high range in the contemporary sound. We certainly don't want a break, a flip to be happening up there. But two things. Firstly, it should never come at the cost of hurting or straining your voice. Never, ever, 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 okay? And secondly, we have to come to terms with the fact that our higher notes won't sound the same as our lower notes, okay? We want to aim for a similar sound, but it's not going to be the exact same. And this can be, I think, a really hard thing for your brain to accept, especially if you have a habit of pushing on your voice to get into the higher notes. And this is where I've come from. I used to push on my chest voice like crazy all the time. Chest voice is addictive. Power is addictive. That gritty, huge fullness is addictive. It's an addictive sound to the ear, and it's an addictive feeling for the throat, right? We like to think that effort equals power, which is actually not true. But most importantly, it's not safe. It's not safe. It's not healthy to be pushing our voice so hard like that, right? So we always have to come back to number one. Singing high with power and fullness should never come at the cost of hurting or straining the voice. So we're aiming for a similar but not the same sound in our low and high range. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll dig into this a little bit more. Because what we don't want is ba 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 ba, right? We don't want that pushing up feeling. That's the same as singing hallelujah, praise the one who set me free, right? Or this is amazing grace, this is unfailing love that you, right? That will kill your voice. It only leads down a bad road, okay? So don't go there. What we want is ba 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 ba. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. Hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Very different. I'm still keeping that fullness, but it's a different sound. Now, your question, Chesney, was that you're able to keep that depth in you're able to keep the depth in your tone in your low to mid range, but then you lose it as you go higher. Okay, so for some people, your voice is actually flipping from chest voice into head voice as you go up because there's no middle ground of resonance between them. So your voice literally flips out when you get there. And for others of you, especially if you've been working with maybe with some of the course exercises for a while, you have a good amount of mix in your voice. You're able to stay in a mix as you go up, but your larynx ends up jumping too high as you move through your transition spots so that the sound gets a lot thinner, a lot lighter. In both cases, what we're looking for, what we're aiming for is a gradual transition into the higher range, which means as you get closer to your bridge, or that transition spot in your voice. For guys, it's at the D, E flat, E. For girls, it's at the A, B flat, B above middle C. As you get close to that, you've got to start letting go of some of the weight of chest voice and allow it to thin out into more pharyngeal, head voice dominant resonance on the top there, okay? So if I'm doing a long scale, so instead of pushing up, right? That goes nowhere. As I go up in pitch, I'm allowing my tone, I'm allowing the resonance to shift higher in the face. Instead of chest voice can't even get up there, okay? Thumbs up if this is making sense to you guys. Okay, so we're looking for smooth, gradual transition through your bridge. And I know I'm flying through some of this stuff because there are lots of these scales that will work on this in your voice, in Discover Your Voice and Master Your Voice, and the various workouts on the Worship Vocalist site. So dig into those, okay? But I'll come back to this, that from a foundational standpoint, you have to be okay with the fact that the sound is changing as we go higher. It is lightening up. It is thinning out. It's supposed to. Is not the same as yeah. But notice how my voice isn't flipping, it's not breaking, and it's a similar sound up and down, okay? So it's supposed to change, it's supposed to thin out. It's how the voice maintains health and brightness and pitch accuracy, okay? And when we have learned to maintain that mix, keep that mix all the way up, that gradual transition, and we're fundamentally okay with our sound lightening up as we go, we're not just addicted to that pushed up feeling, then we can add fullness to it, okay? And by fullness, I mean more depth, more of a similar sound to your chest voice. And the best way to do that is what the question is asking. How do we keep that depth as we go up? The best way to do that is to learn to lower your larynx and keep it lowered, okay? That's the key. Keep it lowered as you go up in your range. We're still going to engage the pharyngeal, that never goes away, the tilting letter C of resonance that I talk about in my courses as we go up. That's a non-negotiable, but we are multitasking and staying aware of the height of our larynx at the same time, okay? Excuse me. I teach this in my Master Your Voice lessons, especially keeping that lowered larynx as you move higher. But what I often hear in people's exercises is, okay, they're going up, starting in a deep kind of chest voice, low larynx sound. Do that again. Still in a mix on those high notes, but my larynx is jumping up as I go through my transition spot, okay? And how that translates into a song is hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. Okay, now it's not that is bad sounding. I'm not saying that's bad sounding. It's that it just lacks the fullness that it could have. Hallelujah, praise the one who set me free, right? A lot more fullness, a lot more depth, a lot more of a similar sound to my lower chest voice range. So things to try, first and foremost, talking really dopey in all parts of your range, okay? Yeah. Okay, keeping this lower larynx. You can put your fingers on your larynx and you'll actually feel it low, okay? You feel it neutral if you just talk neutral, kind of in the middle of your throat. Yeah, mum. No, talking really dopey, and I can actually, just try it right now. I can actually feel it kind of going down in my throat. Yeah. And I'm not pushing, I'm not straining, I'm very relaxed actually. But I'm gonna move the pitch of my speaking voice higher, but I'm gonna keep that dopey sound. Yeah. Mum. Talking really dopey. Yeah. Okay? So hear how we can keep that. You hear it on my speaking voice, even in the higher range. Okay? And if you don't feel silly when you're doing that, you're probably not doing it right. You're probably not really committing to the exercise, okay? I have this all the time in lessons where I'm like, talk really dopey, and they're like, I'm talking really dopey, I'm talking really deep. No. I'm talking really dopey, I'm talking really deep. Okay, you gotta commit to it, okay? People should think you're strange when you do that, okay? So now, instead of a thinner sounding okay, I'm gonna find that dopey talking voice on that note. Yeah. I'm talking really dopey, I'm talking really deep, I'm keeping my larynx down. Yeah. And then I put the buh in the same place. Buh. This is an A note, by the way, so right on the female transition spot. Buh. Putting that buh in the same place as I was just there. Buh. Now I find my song melody. Buh. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. I'm in a mix. It doesn't even feel high for my voice. Sometimes that chorus feels high on a Sunday morning. Okay? But it doesn't feel high, and it actually doesn't sound as high either, does it? Because I'm maintaining that depth and fullness that normally only our lower and mid-range chest voice has. I'm not pushing my chest voice up too high there. It's not hallelujah, not just yelling. Okay, I'm in a mix, but hear how there's that fullness, there's that depth. Are you guys hearing that? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Okay, so once again, find the dopey talking voice. Yeah, I'm talking really dopey. Then put the buh, keeping the larynx down. Buh, hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Buh, hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Buh, hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Right? We can keep that depth in the voice. Same thing, and doesn't matter what song it is, right? I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder. It's all about, if I come out of that, louder and I just start talking, you can hear how that's actually a lot deeper, it's a lot dopier, yeah, than my normal speaking voice. But it's very safe, very healthy if you develop this in your voice and the exercises. And it has to start there. It has to start in your exercises, being able to bring that, which is going back to what the question was, being able to bring that that sound into your higher range. You've got to start with, in the exercises, both just talking it out, and in your scales. Okay, we can't just start in a song and expect the voice to just fall into place.